Hi loves, Beth here, and today we're talking about something that I have been talking about for years, and that is how to actually, drum rolls don't really work because you probably clicked this video because there's already a title on it anyway, but whatever. How to receive messages from your spirit guides and angels. That's what we're going to be talking about today. So yeah, girls, let's get into it. This is something I know so many of you are so interested to know more about. And I'll actually, why don't I share a little bit of my story with you girls before we really get into it, so you know my side of the things, I guess. It's not like, you know, when I was growing up, I wasn't this person that was, you know, always receiving messages and seeing angels and stuff like that. It wasn't like that at all. You know, my mother is a healer. She's a Reiki healer and intuitive. And she, you know, when I was around 13 years old, she kind of woke up to that and had her spiritual awakening. But I remember growing up, I always knew that, you know, my mother saw spirits. And my mother saw, you know, things, and she kept this pretty, like, low-key. Basically only, like, our family, like, knew about this. She was raised in a really, like, strict Catholic household, and was actually, like, physically, you know, abused for speaking up, you know, at times about the things that she saw. So she learned to keep it really hidden and you know, shut down her own gifts. But I did know, you know, from a very early age that, you know, my mother saw spirits. So whatever my beliefs were, you know, they were going through, you know, I didn't really know what I believed for a long time. But whatever they were, I knew that, you know, I trusted my mom and that there was, you know, spirits and other things that did exist. So I kind of had that understanding and awareness for a while, but it wasn't until I had my own awakening around the age of 19 that I started to become interested in the world of angels and spirits. And, you know, since she started to get into Reiki, I heard a lot about, you know, Archangel Michael around the dinner table and asking your spirit guides for this or that, you know, but for the most part I was like, come on, like, whatever. But yeah, had my own awakening, and then I started to get really interested. So I started picking up some of the books that were around the house. And I started to read, for those of you who have been following me for a while, you'll know that I talk about this book sometimes called Ask Your Guides by Sonia Choquette. And that book really changed a lot for me. I often tell the story of me, like, in the back corner of my financial institutions and marketing class when I was in university. Totally not listening. Probably should have been listening because it was actually, like, quite a hard class, and I had to, like, kind of, you know, go through some stress and relearning this stuff. But I was just so interested and so passionate about learning about this new world of, you know, spirit guides and angels and spirit animals and these helpers. And I didn't really know what it all meant, I guess, for me, but I just felt it so much inside, like, I want to know, I want to follow this path. And so, yeah, I started following some of the practices and the suggestions in the book, as well as other different books and from other different teachers that I was following, such as Doreen Virtue. And then through the course of time, I started to really strengthen my relationship with my own spirit guides and angels. And once I launched into having my own business, and some of you may or may not know that my business started out called Waves of Fire, and I offered crystal jewelry and custom crystal necklaces for, you know, for young ladies. And once I started that business and I started sitting down with people to do and talk about their custom order, I started to get messages from their spirit guides and from their angels that I was asked to pass on. And that started off the professional sense of my my connection with the spirit guides and angels, and starting to actually do it as a service, offering readings as a service. So that's kind of like the short story, Cole's notes of how I started my journey. So again, it's not something that, you know, I was like always, you know, knew a lot about. Actually, for a long time, I thought that my mother was special, you know, and she's special, you know, obviously she's super cool and different and unique, but I thought she was like special in the way that only a very, very few people were like selected or chosen or had that ability to see spirits or to talk to spirits. And, you know, the rest of us, it was just, that's not what we were, you know, that's not our path. But, you know, through my own process, I realized this ability to connect with the other world, to connect with our own spirit guides and angels, our divine support system, is complete. If you're wondering what that little fluff ball, that was my cat's tail, if you saw that, you know, it's completely natural for us as divine beings to have that ability to communicate to our spirit guides and angels. And in the past, few thousand years with patriarchy and with the church and different churches coming in and saying, there is the intermediary between you and the divine. So it's the priest, and that's who has the ability to connect and communicate with the divine, and you don't. And, through that messaging over thousands of years, we'd really been cut off from our ability not only to speak and communicate with our spirit guides and angels, but also in our ability to even believe that they exist. It's still, society is very much in the process of waking up, and it's not a widespread belief or idea that you can talk to your spirit guides and angels. Although I think, even though it's not often talked about, I think the majority of the population actually in their heart does believe that we have angels, because I think a lot of us have experienced kind of these divine, just divine miracles, whether they're small or big. We've had these instances where we feel like, wow, something must have been watching over me, or I just had this feeling. And so even though so many of us are saying, okay, no, we can't actually talk to these beings, I think a lot of us still do believe in them no matter where we're at in our journey. So let's get into talking about how you yourself can start to receive messages from your spirit guides and angels. Okay, so step one, believe you can. So we kind of talked about this in that sort of introductory story, right? Really believe that you can, okay? Because you can. And like I kind of alluded to, so many of us grew up in a way where the existence of spirit guides and angels and the other world, wasn't talked about or wasn't honored for, the truth of what it was or whatever. So we grew up in this mainstream society that says, you're crazy, that's for crazy people. Okay, so we have this, some of us can have this thing, this block that says like, well, either it's crazy or I just can't do it, whatever it is. So the first step is believing that you can, and believing that everyone can if they want to. And I have a step for you in order to really help you into that. And that is surround yourself with like minds who are also on that wavelength that say, yeah, spirit guides and angels are real, and yeah, you can communicate with them. Or yeah, I want to communicate with them. If we're surrounding ourselves with people who are gonna, like the naysayers and the negative people and the ones who are just totally not awakened and totally asleep to, true reality, capital R, we are gonna be in that pull. We're going to be, what's that word? I guess affected or influenced by that vibration and that consciousness. So it's not like I'm saying throw every single one of your friends out that's not all about spirit guides and angels. No, but what I am saying is start to surround yourself with more of that consciousness. So start to unfollow those people on Facebook. You don't even have to unfriend people, but start to unfollow people that are really like negative and they're just totally, they have lots of just shitty things to say. Clean up your news feed. Start to follow people online like Doreen Virtue, Gabby Bernstein, intuitives, healers, psychics, crystal people, the earth children, like all those people. Go find them, like their pages, fill your news feed when you're on social media with people who are of that consciousness. The other tool is to get some books. So if you haven't read Ask Your Guides by Sonia Choquette, go do that. Go check out Doreen Virtue's book, who's totally the angel lady. Lorna Byrne is another author I'd recommend. She wrote Angels in My Hair. Go out and read books that help you to understand, oh yeah, people are doing this every day. For these people, it's completely normal and natural to talk to spirit guides and angels. So surround yourself with a consciousness of, yeah, totally, it's real, you can do it, let's go, and believe you can. Okay, so step 2 is clearing your energy. And there's a physical component of this and a spiritual component of this, but the idea behind it is we're going to be receiving very subtle, spirit guides and angels, they're very powerful, but they show up subtly in our field because we're basically kind of live in different dimensions. Therefore, they're of a very light, energy body, light body realm, and we live in this 3D dimension, physical reality of Earth. So when their messages come through, even though they're actually blasting us and super powerful, they can feel really subtle when they hit us. So we actually need to really open ourselves to be even more sensitive, I guess, but to honor our sensitivity, right? And to not clog it up, not clog up our channels. So in my last video, I talked about how to clear the energy of the body using your diet and food and how important that is. So go ahead and check that out if you haven't already. It's on my YouTube channel. It should be on my blog and my website as well. And as well, there's the exercise component of it. So keeping the body really healthy and honoring that it's your antenna, your radio antenna, to receive the messages. So we had a video for that, so I won't go too much into that, and we'll talk more about it later in the future if you keep tuned with what we're doing. And then for the clearing energy, there's also the spiritual component of it. So let's go ahead and do it right now. We'll talk about a few different ways that we can clear our energy, and then we'll do one of the ways that we can do right now with no physical tools. So things you might be aware of are using sage wands, or something called, a plant called Palo Santo. There's a few different energy clearing plants that are widely available out there. Many of you are probably already using sage or maybe Palo Santo, but some of you it might be new for. So it's this idea, it's called smudging, and it's a traditional indigenous practice. I say indigenous because it's not just Native American with the sage. Indigenous from South America also use the Palo Santo. So it's kind of all over the world in different tribes and cultures. They had their different ways and different plants that they cleared energy. But Palo Santo and sage are two of my favorites. And basically you burn, I have like a tiny little nub Palo Santo here. I don't have a lighter anywhere around me handy, so we'll just look at it for now. But this tiny little thing used to be like this big, and I just light it and I clear my energy, and let me tell you, it really works. I had a very powerful experience with this where I was like, okay, this works. Also, for those of you who are interested, I actually use this as eyeliner once it gets ashy, which is always. I take my angle brush, go like that, and smudge it on, and it's my eyeliner. Pretty cool, hey? So, I hear some of you going, oh, really? Wow, yeah, totally cool. So we can clear our energy, woo, through using things like sage and Palo Santo, and you can just burn them and blah blah blah. If you want more information, just search online about it. You can clear your energy through jumping in the ocean, jumping in a fresh body of water, and allow the water and that energy to bathe you. You can take sea salt baths, which are really detoxifying. And what we're going to do now is you can also work with the angels to clear your energy field. So the reason for the spiritual clearing is there's a lot of different energies that are on Earth and in the other realms and in other dimensions. So when we're tuning in to receive messages from our guides and angels, if we haven't cleared our field and we're like, okay, I'm open, what are the messages? Well, then what kind of beings are going to come in and what are they going to tell us? It's not it doesn't need to be a scary thing. I'm not trying to scare you. It's like, it's fine. But, even like thought forms, coming in from someone that just like passed you by, or you spent all day at work and your boss is super angry and aggro, and that's kind of in your field, that energy. So when you go ahead and tune in to your angels and your guides, you're carrying this energy in your field, and it's really not going to be conducive to actually hearing your spirit guides and angels. So we want to clear it up. So go ahead and with me, just close your eyes and start to breathe in and out. And we invoke Archangel Michael with us now, and I want you to say out loud, Archangel Michael, I invoke you now. Thank you for clearing and cleansing my energy field now. And see a really bright blue bordering on purple light just showering your whole energy field, your aura. So even a few feet above and outside of your body, your physical body, see that light? See it entering into your body as well, into your cells. And again, say thank you, Archangel Michael, for clearing any fear or negativity from my field now, ensuring that my energy field is clear to receive accurate messages from my spirit guides and angels. Thank you. And breathe in that bluey purple light. Exhale and release, and you can open your eyes. pretty much as simple as that. That's another tool to clear your energy field. That's something I'm in the practice of doing every day, multiple times a day, because I'm very sensitive to energies, and it does work. I've had very interesting experiences through just bringing in that bluish purple light and bathing myself in it. Okay. We are going to be in step 4 now. So this is kind of like the juice, the meat of the video, I guess you could say. So the final step that I'm going to give you now in this video is to ask for the messages from your guides and angels. Okay, and this is where the huge like insights can come from, because we can prepare ourselves, we can clear our energy, and we can learn, but if we're not actually asking our spirit guides and angels to come in, be in my life, give me messages, then we're missing a big piece, because they do need to be asked. Our spirit guides and angels are always with us, and they are always trying to help us. But we live in a free will universe, which means that any being who is living in accordance with the rules of this universe will not enter your field, will not do XYZ if they have not been asked to, invited to. They will not cross those boundaries unless they have been given permission. So, there's many beings that are not honoring the law of free will in this universe, and they're going to have the consequences, at some point. But the angels and spirit guides definitely honor these rules. So, rules, it's kind of a weird word, but, guidelines, just ways of how the universe works. So if you ask, then they're like, the door is open, and then they can come in. So I'm going to give you 2 different ways to ask. Before we get into this, I want to remind you that when you ask for messages from your spirit guides and angels, this video is training you to dive in yourself and be able to hear the messages yourself. But this requires practice. It took me years to really start to get to a place with the spirit guides and the angels and the intuition that I felt really solid in it. So I want to remind you, if you haven't, if you've seen it, and tell you if you haven't already seen it, that I have newly launched my my angel sessions, where I connect with your spirit guides and angels, and I deliver messages for you based on what they have to say. Now, yes, again, I'm saying in this video, the goal is to teach you how to do it, absolutely. And you're going to get messages, and it's going to be a really important part of your practice. But if you are new to this, or if you need some help with this, I am so here for you. I've practiced for a reason, so I can be of service to my tribe and to the world. I've newly launched my personal angel readings, and if you book a session with me, they're 45 minutes held over Skype or the phone by my birthday, July 2nd, so this is in 2016 for those of you who are way in the future watching this, so July 2nd at midnight, so that's this Saturday for those of you who are seeing. If you book a session with me, you're going to receive a free 20-minute follow-up session that can be booked at any time you want, which is such an awesome deal. You'll get a 45-minute reading, you'll get 3 guided meditations I choose exactly for you, and the 20-minute follow-up, all for the price of $88 US. It's such an awesome, such an awesome offering. So if that resonates with you, please don't hesitate to book, because you have until Saturday to take advantage of that bonus. So yeah, so let's get back to the asking, right? So asking, right? It's like, I ask for the messages, and don't be surprised with how they come to you. When you ask for the messages, you might be guided to book a session with me, for example, and have messages come to you in that way. When you ask for guidance, you might be guided to open a certain book and learn about certain things, and have messages delivered to you through the book on behalf of your spirit guides and angels. When you ask, you might overhear a conversation a few different times that all these people are talking about the same school and the same program. And through, your asking and you're tuning in, you were guided to be around those people. And that's a synchronicity that might guide you to maybe sign up for that program. It might be perfect for you, right? When you ask, you might get messages through meditation. When you ask, you might get messages through the dream time. So the last 2 points I mentioned is what we're going to work on for the rest of this video. So asking your spirit guides and angels is really for help is as simple as Spirit guides and angels, I'm open to your help and assistance now. Okay, so you can say that with me. Spirit guides and angels, I am open to your assistance now. What I am in the practice of doing often is before I go to sleep, I'll ask for messages to come through the dream time. This is something I'd like you to be in the practice of, because when you're just starting to receive direct messages from your guides and angels, sitting in meditation, which we're about to do, to receive specific messages is going to be awesome and extremely helpful. But when you're just starting out, you're gonna be on the training wheels. It might take a while to gain that confidence and get to that place where you feel, okay, that was a message and that's what it said. So that's why I love the dreams so much, is because the messages are going to come to you through the dreams, whether you remember them or not, and whether you're able to fully interpret the dreams or not. It's going to go into your psyche, it's going to go into your subconscious. So when you go to bed tonight, you can maybe put a sticky note by your bed so you can be reminded of this often. You can say simply, Spirit guides and angels, what would you have me hear now? Thank you for coming into my dreams and guiding me tonight. Thank you for giving me a healing. You can also ask about certain specific situations. Spirit guides and angels, I'm not sure what to do about XYZ. I need your help. Please come into the dreams tonight and show me the way. I've had very interesting experiences from doing this. Sometimes I don't really remember my dreams, or sometimes I do, and I don't really know exactly like what was coming through, but I trust that it was there. And sometimes when I ask, there's like the clearest dreams that show up that are like, okay, that was obvious. So have fun with this and keep practicing it, because every night's going to be different. Okay, so the final step to our how to receive messages from your spirit guides and angels. And yes, I could talk all day about this subject. I probably will. I've taught long workshops on this, 3 or 4 hours on this. But we're talking about it in one video. So we're just going to get straight now to that last point, which is you can meditate to receive direct guidance from your spirit guides and angels. We can pull tarot cards, we can do a bunch of stuff, and we can, find different ways to communicate with them. But ultimately, the most focused way of connecting with them is probably going to be with practice and with time and with patience and with building it up, meditating and learning to actually just be with them. Okay, so what the biggest issue I see with this, when people are like, well, I've tried to meditate but I don't get anything, usually they say something like, I've tried really, really, really hard to meditate and I don't get anything. Okay, well, that's probably the problem. I learned a while ago of this method called the do nothing method, which basically means what it sounds like. Do nothing, just receive, just stop trying. Trust that the messages are coming anyway. Whether they're making their way to your mind as like super conscious, like, yes, Kathy, go in this direction, or whether, you're just kind of feeling peaceful and you're like, well, I don't really feel much going on. The messages are coming. Right? Again, over time and with practice, you're going to be able to tune in and receive messages pretty consistently and pretty regularly in a conscious way. I tell you, for myself, there's still times where I sit in meditation and I ask for guidance and I don't really receive anything super conscious. Just because, that's life. Sometimes like, oh, that's definitely a direct message. And sometimes, it still takes a little while. Because we're working with ourselves, right? We have our own egos that get in the way. If you read my email that I sent out yesterday, we get attached to outcomes and attached to certain things. So even when I meditate on a client, I'm like, this, bam. When I meditate for myself, but I really liked that guy, and the message is like, no, he's not for you. Oh, but I really kind of wanted it, and pulls you in different directions. So it takes practice and it takes a while, but you'll get it, I promise. If you work at it, if you practice. Okay, so let's get into this meditation here. So you have an option. If you want to, it's been a decently long video already. If you want to pause the video and take like a little dance break or run around the block to refresh your energy before we do this meditation, please feel free. Might clear your energy up a bit. But, you know, if not, if you're like, yeah, girl, let's meditate, I'm ready to get some messages, then let's do it. So just close your eyes with me. And remember this, the intention of this meditation, so we're going to set the intention, which can be an important part of the process. We intend, you can say this aloud with me, we intend for everyone watching this video that we receive messages from our spirit guides and our angels in whatever way will benefit us most. Whatever way will benefit us most. So this is the intention of this meditation. So close your eyes again and start to breathe through your nose and out through your mouth, or in a better way that works for you. And, you know, start to ground into your body. Start to allow yourself to let go of that, you know, oh, I really hope I get something. Oh, what if it's not me? Oh, and just let it go. Like I said, you're getting the messages regardless, so try that do nothing method and just drop into your body and just be open. Because the spirit guides and angels are with us now, and they are whopping their energy around us. That's my sound effects. So start to drop in, and by drop in I mean allow your awareness to drop in more to your breath, more entering your womb space, your belly, your lower back, and starting to put some of that awareness into your body, paying attention to the breath. Alright, this is gonna be fun. Alright, so again, let's shower ourselves in light again, so we're in the practice of doing that. So we ask Archangel Michael to enter this meditation now, and please clear and cleanse all of our energies. Seeing that bluish purple light cleanse us in a shower of light. Thank you for cleansing our energies of anything and everything that will not serve us. Now. And clearing us so that we're open to very accurate messages from our guides and angels. Alright, so say aloud with me. Spirit guides and angels, I invoke your presence now. Thank you for communicating with me now. And please guide me to anything that I need to hear, see, feel, or know for my highest good. And start to breathe in. And the work now is not to, you know, try to get that message. Actually, the work is to drop into the body and just let go. So as we drop in, see white light surrounding you. Now let's do a shower of white light. Breathing into the body and simply asking, Spirit guides and angels, what would you have me hear now? Opening your heart chakra. The heart is a powerful psychic center. So opening your heart chakra in the middle of your chest. Feeling that energy in the chest. Putting the awareness in the heart now. And asking again, Spirit guides and angels, what would you have me hear now? And all we're going to do is breathe and focus on our heart for the next few moments. Remember to constantly let go. Just allow, because the messages are coming through regardless. And don't be surprised if the messages are quite simple, like, you're amazing, or love yourself more. Continue to breathe, continue to focus on your heart, or whatever else you're guided to focus on. Notice any thoughts or visions that are coming up for you now. And again, that do nothing method. You got lots of time to practice this. And it doesn't matter if you get anything specific or not, because it's coming through anyway. And it will enrich your life profoundly anyway. So let's keep connecting in. Just allow. If you have anything specific you'd like to ask about, you can say, Spirit Guides and Angels, what would you have me hear about XYZ? Alright. Feel free to pause this video if you need more time in this space. I find the longer I sit, the deeper I go, and the deeper I'm able to receive the messages. So you can pause it if you'd like, and if you'd like to, you know, if you feel like that was good for you, then you can start to bring yourself back through the breath. Say thank you, thank you, Spirit Guides and Angels, for being with me. Thank you for consistently sending these messages to me. I'm open to receive them. And, feel your bum, wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, and open your eyes whenever you're ready. So, like, for me personally, in that meditation, I got, like, a few little messages, but it wasn't like, boom, this is exactly what you need to hear, right? So it's like, I told you, sometimes when I sit, it's like, I get super clear messages, and sometimes it's just like, like, you're, this, and just, it's just little, and it's just subtle, and so it doesn't mean that you're doing it right or wrong, if you're, getting this or this. It's just, the only thing that you need to do is open yourself up and say, I'm ready to receive. Show me what you got, as Gabby says, Gabby Bernstein. And don't be surprised, too, if you get messages throughout the day. So, something pops up in your mind, or again, you overhear a conversation, or, you open a book and it says this, and there's so many ways that Spirit Guides and Angels can communicate with us. So for those of you, I'm picking up on a little bit of frustration for some of you, because you're trying too hard, okay? You're too attached to that goal of, direct message, something exactly coming through, I want it, if it's not happening, it's not good enough. No offense, but that's going to get you nowhere. With Spirit Guides and Angels, they don't care. The more frustrated you get, the harder the messages are going to be to receive. So let that frustration go, and if that's you, if you're having some frustration come up, then I would suggest paying attention to that and just seeing, where is this coming from? Doing a bit of self-inquiry, I'm getting a bit of, like, there's a bit of competitive energy actually around, like, well, I could be the, the best, I can do this, I'm good at everything, or I'm good at this, and I'm good at blah, 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 so I can be good at this too. It's just totally not like that. It's just all about your own personal connection with the guides and angels, and keep working at it, and keep releasing, any fear. And if you, like I said, are one of those people that has frustration coming up, I would recommend sit with the frustration, breathe light into it, and say, I'm willing to release you. I know that this does not serve me anymore. I'm willing to release you. That can happen when we have a blast of powerful light. Our ego and our shadow can get triggered, and the ego goes, no, I'm not going anywhere. I'm gonna fucking get pissed off and start some rant about this, so you get distracted. So that's a normal actually thing, when you're blasted with the light, to have that egoic reaction sometimes come up is totally natural and normal, and a part of the process. So whatever came up for you, perfect. So this video is all about how to receive the messages, right? And I gave you some steps that you can work with, but it really does require practice. Like I've mentioned, I have spent a lot of time practicing, and it's been for a reason. It's been so I can be of service. So I can be of service to my tribe, so I can deliver the messages that I need to deliver, okay? So if you want to sit down with me for 45 minutes and receive messages from your spirit guides and angels, if you're like, well, I didn't fully receive too much in that, you know, in that session, I know it's coming, but I'd like a little more right now, I'm super intrigued, I'm super interested, then, you know, get help. You know, some people say, am I supposed to be doing this alone though? Am I supposed to be learning how to do this all by myself? No, remember, I am you, right? You are me, I am you, we're all, you know, so whether you get messages from me or a book or a song or yourself or your dreams, it's all coming to you from the same place, the universe. We're all one, right? So let yourself off the hook and give yourself an opportunity to, you know, have a little bit of an easier time. And also, when you sit down for a session with me, it's actually going to strengthen your intuition, because oftentimes I'm going to say things that you're going to say, ah, I kind of thought that, but I wasn't sure. I was wondering if that was my intuition, but I wasn't sure. And I'll be able to say, yeah, that was totally your intuition. Yes. So you'll be able to have a stronger understanding of what your intuition feels like and what messages from your guides and angels feel like. So it'll actually help to build your intuition. It's not the other way around. Sitting with a psychic or intuitive is going to help to build your intuition and open that up. So please book if you're interested by my birthday, woohoo, July 2nd at midnight. If you're interested in sitting down, and you're going to get a free 20-minute follow-up. It's such an awesome deal. You know, the links to book should be below this video and around this video somewhere. You know, and it's on my website if you can't find it, bethkatherine.com, and click on Angel Readings. So I'm looking forward to sitting down with those of you who feel like a session with me is right for you. I'm super stoked for that. Keep practicing. I'm going to have a bunch more information, free information and trainings coming your way to strengthen this. This is just, you know, the start of the process, or, you know, if you've already been on this journey, it's just more information for you, but it's a lifelong practice of connecting, of opening ourselves up. So just enjoy the journey and just allow yourself to flow, and don't get too caught up in, you know, it has to be this, and just do nothing method, yo. Just like, it's all good. You're gonna get messages every day, every minute of the day, whether you know it or not, and just keep tracking and keep following them, and definitely make sure to act on those messages when you do get them. So much love, many blessings. If you have any questions or comments, please leave a comment below this video. Come to the Angel Coaching with Beth Katherine Facebook group page or Facebook group, and we can chat there as well. Much love. Bye, girls.